under fire, Chancellor Rachel Reeves has stumbled into yet another political minefield, jetting off to Beijing while the UK economy teeters on the brink of chaos. Her ill-timed trip, which she insists will somehow raise living standards through vague promises of trade and investment, reeks of desperation and naivety. As government borrowing costs soar to their highest levels in 16 years and financial markets signal a crisis of confidence, Reeves appears more interested in photo ops with Chinese officials than tackling the economic meltdown at home.
It's a great honour to be here in Beijing for the 11th UK-China Economic and Financial Dialogue. I would like to extend my gratitude to Vice Premier He Lifeng for his welcome and the hospitality to me and the entire UK delegation, including the Governor of the Bank of England and the CEO of the Financial Conduct Authority, the business representatives and my team. Today marks a significant milestone in the UK-China relationship, with the first economic and financial dialogue between our countries for nearly 6 years. It is a signal of this new UK government's commitment to fostering a stable, long-term partnership and of the importance that I place in realising the economic potential of cooperation between the UK and China. But let us be honest, we face a more complex and more challenging global landscape than our predecessors did when the last economic and financial dialogue took place in 2019. One with increasing conflict, including Russia's war in Ukraine, rising geopolitical tensions and the impact of a changing climate. Yet it is precisely in such times that practical, pragmatic cooperation between the world's major economies is most needed. We must seize this opportunity to set a course for a stable and mutually beneficial relationship with one another. This government recognises that as two major economies, we have an obligation to work together to find pragmatic solutions to shared global challenges and to boost our economic growth for the benefit of working people in both of our countries. We also have an obligation to be frank with each other where we disagree. It is in this spirit of mature and respectful relations that we hope today to establish a dialogue for us to openly discuss more sensitive issues.
Critics within her own party have branded her out of her depth. The whispers of rebellion are growing louder, with one MP bluntly stating, "Keir has a track record of picking the wrong people, and Rachel is the latest disaster." This is a chancellor who has staked everything on the elusive promise of growth, yet has no credible plan to deliver it. Her tax hikes, including a $36.2 billion blow to employers, have kneecapped businesses, forcing them to slash jobs, cut investment, and hike prices. The so-called plan for change looks more like a recipe for economic stagnation. Even Reeves' pledge to address human rights abuses in Hong Kong and China's backing of Russia's war in Ukraine feels like window dressing, a futile attempt to mask the futility of a trip that senior Tories have dismissed as pointless. Sir Ian Duncan Smith pulled no punches, condemning her decision to court a murderous, brutal, law-breaking communist regime in pursuit of growth that Labour simply cannot deliver. Meanwhile, Reeves' refusal to raise taxes further or increase borrowing leaves her with one unpalatable option: swinging cuts to public services. Treasury insiders admit they're combing through budgets line by line, hunting for savings as public anger simmers. Labour MPs, increasingly disillusioned with both Reeves and Stormer, now openly question their judgment. This debacle underscores a broader problem. Labour's economic strategy is floundering, and markets are taking note. Businesses, already battered by soaring costs, face higher national insurance bills and shrinking investment opportunities. Homeowners, too, are bracing for more pain as rising gilt yields drive up mortgage rates, squeezing disposable incomes and threatening to further erode living standards. Reeves' China gambit was supposed to project strength and ambition, but it has only highlighted her glaring weaknesses, and by extension, those of the Labour government. As the country faces an economic storm, the Chancellor seems content to drift rudderless, leaving voters to wonder if anyone in Labour truly has a grip on the wheel.
Let's take the grooming scandal and what has happened, or what we know so far. We know that local councillors with political power deliberately covered up and aided and abetted what happened. We know that the police, for various reasons, some of which were political correctness, not wanting to seem as racist, did not prosecute these crimes. We know that there is an ideology of Islamism which has become more powerful in British politics. We've seen at the last election 4 Islamist MPs were elected. We know that ideology is influencing the Labour Party because they do not want to lose votes to the election. So we've got a combination of all those different things happening, which creates a groupthink and creates a blindness to what's going on. Or you could say it's worse than blindness. You could say it's deliberate neglect.
Former Prime Minister Liz Truss has reignited a contentious debate surrounding grooming gangs in the UK, accusing the Labour Party of refusing to confront the issue due to political correctness, ideological bias, and an unwillingness to upset key voter demographics. Her comments have drawn sharp criticism from Labour officials while energizing a growing base of voters who feel these scandals have been swept under the rug for far too long. Truss's claims that Labour councillors aided and abetted grooming gangs mark a bold escalation in the political rhetoric surrounding these crimes. While such accusations are difficult to prove without concrete evidence, they harken back to widely publicized scandals in Rotherham, Rochdale, and Telford. Official investigations into these cases revealed instances where local officials and police forces failed to act, often citing fears of being accused of racism or Islamophobia. The former PM's critique doesn't stop at the local level. She highlighted what she described as systemic failures within law enforcement, claiming police forces have been paralyzed by an overzealous commitment to political correctness. This, she argues, allowed perpetrators to operate with impunity for years, while victims, often vulnerable young girls, were ignored or dismissed. This is not just a failure of governance, but of moral courage, Truss said during a recent interview. Labour has been quick to condemn Truss's comments as divisive and inflammatory. Shadow Home Secretary Yvette Cooper described the remarks as a blatant attempt to politicise a serious issue for political gain. Labour officials point to the measures the party has supported, including increased funding for police forces and the introduction of mandatory safeguarding policies for local councils. The issue of grooming gangs has become a political minefield, with both major parties seeking to avoid accusations of racism or complicity while attempting to address public outrage. For Truss, this controversy offers a potent opportunity to reassert her political relevance by championing a cause that resonates with a significant portion of the Conservative base. Thank you for watching. If you found this content insightful, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel for more updates, and comment below to share your thoughts. Stay connected and join the conversation on Telegram for exclusive updates and discussions.